Reptilian humanoid among us. Oftentimes, it's wondered if humans are the only species on Earth, or if there's more to it than meets the eyes. This is not so far-fetched based on recent activities from past years. However, most of the time the traces are so quickly covered that you barely have time to blink. There is a reason to believe there is a much more dangerous threat to human existence than in earlier years. This is because this species does not seek a home or is simply just passing through. No, this species has it in a plan to dominate unwitting humans while planting themselves in plain sight among the elites and the commoners. However, the information to be provided in this video is specific to elites, leaders, celebrities, and media personalities. The details revolve around people you are fully aware of, famous people, and at a time or two wish to meet. Welcome back to Declassified Theories. In today's video, we'll be discussing reptilian humanoids among us and how we got to the conclusion. Have we piqued your interest in the interesting details? Don't forget to click on the like button, subscribe to this channel, and also turn on post notifications. Most likely, the thoughts running through your mind are, what exactly is this video about reptilian humanoids? With cautiousness comes a great price and benefit. The former is to aid in saving yourself by being aware, and the latter is knowing too much. While everyone goes about their daily lives, something that seemed regular began not to add up, and we noticed. Series and patterns of events drew the similarity of what is to be mentioned and what familiar traits they possess. However, before moving on, let's dive into what exactly a reptilian humanoid entails. In folklore, there have been several tales of fictional characters with definitive features and traits. In hindsight, it's not an exaggeration to say that they've been existing for quite a while, though have attempted to stay hidden, shielding humans from their real colors. They therefore were once thought to be demigods, semi-divine half-men, and half-serpents. This is according to South Asian mythology. They're portrayed as heroes and warriors on several reptiles and anthropomorphism in sci-fi, fantasy, or even horror movies. They're usually represented with a half-snake, crocodile, lizards, alligators, and so on. As time went on, their existence needed to be explained and people began to make research. Soon after, these measures blew up in their faces because their results were regarded as delusional, interesting for fantasy books, and considered quite a concept. From research, it was discovered that shape-shifting reptilian aliens were waiting to control the Earth. Does anyone else wonder why the results were easily dismissed and widely publicized as fabricated lies, fantasy, and even unhealthy obsession, up to a point where solved mysteries are marked and regarded as nonsense? Apart from folklore, there have been actual books published that have scientific and historical backing that the reptilian humanoids are actually not just a popular conspiracy theory, but simply truths guarded enough to have these authors discredited. Popular among many is the book Alien World Order by Len Kasten. Despite this book having research analysis and interpretation of much data accumulated that the theory is real, it's disregarded and categorized as a fantasy fictional work. Another book, Lizard Man, The True Story of the Bishop Phil Monster. This book is, in one word, bizarre. It's very detailed on actions and activities that were noticed and recorded. Unlike the others, this book has many testimonials and backing of the local law to confirm that these activities indeed happened. That's not all. In 1984, a book released, called The Lizard War by John Dalmes, stated extensive information about extraterrestrial activities and warriors with martial and spiritual arts. Finally, in an actual fictional book, a prominent horror writer, Robert E. Howard, wrote several of his books centered around the lizard people. Some of his works, such as Serpent Man, Conan the Warrior, and King Kull, were not so far off from researchers' results. That makes one begin to wonder, how thin is the line between reality and imagination? Is this enough to convince you that it's more than what meets the eye? Let's give a bit of backup context before diving forward. There has been evidence of pictographs, videos, diagrams, and published events that have been unexplainable or found to be traced to the reptilian humanoids, also known as the lizard people. Several of these pictures are widely spread across the internet, but are not paid attention to. Truth be told, you have to look and look again, because at first glance, nothing seems out of the ordinary. There was once a viral image of a man with green eyes and normal skin, nothing out of the ordinary, or so you think. At a closer look, the man's skin is discolored like a reptile shedding its skin. That's not all. The eye area has cracked and fractured skin that looks very compatible with the lizard, snake, and similar reptiles. Is that a coincidence? Well, if that's not justifiable and might just be a product of an artistic streak, perhaps this will. There's an image of a being with a reptile head and a suit-clothed human body, standing on a podium in front of microphones as if giving a speech to the press. Does this image have a double meaning and there are really lizard people posing as government officials and elites? Also, a green-like man's image is released. What's different and why is it a case study? The body of the man is not only green, but scaly, and the man in the image can be seen with a reptile-shaped head, a long sharp-tipped tail, and a few webbed fingers and feet. It was a sore sight to see. There are several more images spread across the internet, some from the inspiration of original works, some too gruesome to even be shown in the light of day. However, it cannot be denied that in every evidence and fact, there is an iota of truth. So, I know what you're thinking. If there are really proofs of their existence, then where did these creatures come from? Unfortunately, that's something that's still yet to be completely discovered. However, there have been several speculations about where they come from. From many opinions, they're extraterrestrial beings who, instead of passing through Earth, became comfortable and decided to inhabit and cohabitate with humans until they finally take control of Earth and turn normal people like us into their subjects. This reasoning isn't so far off because it explains why many of these said creatures are in higher places among the elites, leaders, and celebrities of the Earth so they can easily influence people to be like them. In another speculation, these species were born here on Earth and were the result of mixed breeding or a failed science experiment that went wrong. Is this truly possible? How will their existence from centuries past be explained? Finally, there's a divinity reasoning as to why they exist. It's said that they're the offspring of demons engaging in coitus or copulation, as creepy as it might seem. Is this true? Maybe or maybe not. Adding a bit more context and excitement to this, these elites are rumored to be part of the reptilian humanoid, the lizard people, and here's why. At the top of the list is the late monarch, Queen Elizabeth of England. You might be wondering, how did the Queen make it to the list? If you're a follower of trends, you possibly know why already. In a short clip, the Queen's eye color was seen changing unprovoked to pitch black, then blinking and returning to normal within an instant. While technical faults are not debunked, should the video just be ignored? It certainly doesn't help that the royal family has been rumored not to be human but part of the lizard people species and an active member of the feared Illuminati occult group. Former US President Barack Obama was highly suspected of being a reptilian humanoid. Being one of the most powerful in the world then, he was under the public microscope, and all his activities and actions were suspected, especially those which were unprovoked. Is there a chance that the former president controlled the world market and stakeholders by being a lizard person with a specific higher traits and a thirst to control the rest of the world? Another former US president, Donald Trump, an infamous elite, has been accused so many times it started to stick. However, their opinion might be biased on his personality and demeanor. He's known for being ruthless and straightforward, even to the point of being offensive. Although, if his actions were analyzed, people could have a point. In 2016, not a lot of people knew the chief executive of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, answered a brief cameo statement saying, "No, I am not a lizard." He's not the only person. The former defense secretary, Donald Rumsfeld, in 2011, repeatedly ignored Louis C.K., a comedian on a radio show who pestered him about being a flesh-eating lizard alien. It's not just an anti-political movement or war against technological geniuses. Even celebrities are not exempted from scrutiny. Justin Bieber, Miley Cyrus, Michael Jackson, Madonna, Katy Perry, Angelina Jolie, and other celebrities have been rumored to be part of the minor species and part of the plan in influencing people's beliefs, values, and identities. Let's discuss a few celebrities who people persistently claimed exhibited some weird traits and may be part of the lizard people. Justin Bieber. Nothing more astonishing than a child rising to become a star and a beloved musical icon in a span of a few years. While the handsome musician remains a celebrity crush to many, his rise to fame has also been questioned from time to time, as celebrities sometimes get a backlash. Justin Bieber faced public scrutiny and suspicion for blinking oddly in a YouTube video. Comments went wild, and he was literally and figuratively compared to a blinking lizard. After accepting a movie role in Beowulf and sharing her excitement about being part of the cast, Angelina Jolie did not expect her character to be taken into literal interpretation and her being declared as part of the suspected reptilian humanoid. Still celebrities, some have come out to express their belief about the existence of reptilian humanoids. A good example is Gemma Collins, a well-known media personality who said she believes that reptilian humanoids have been existing undetected for a long time. She went as far as to admit that she's a firm believer, though people might find it a little bit weird. What do you think about this theory? Is it delusional, or there's a reason it somehow should be investigated? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on the notification button for updates on new videos.